All right, I'm back with career mode gameplay this time in the My Driver career that I'm doing, where I am currently at McLaren. And this is Baku, sixth race of the year, I think. Um, we've been doing all right thus far. Not great, I wouldn't say. Had a win in the first race, but I turned down the AI after that, and you saw Imola. I can't remember if I've shown anything else at this point, but I have done Monaco, which I think was after this, and I'm just miserable on Monaco, just absolutely miserable. So you might have seen there, AI was 86 going into qualifying, and I do end up adjusting that a little bit based off of how it looked and what my times were like with Daniel Ricardo, my teammate, just trying to get us sort of closely balanced, I would say. So I do end up turning it down because I don't have a great qualifying here. I'll just go ahead and tell you that. So this is my first lap, and honestly, the rest of my laps were just plagued by just small errors that ended up, adding on a little bit of time. There were a couple laps where I had a really nice lap going. I think I had a purple first sector on one lap and ended up, I want to say like just took a curb way too fat and just added on a bunch of time. So, it's just, this is sort of a lot of the same problems that I have in my league races. I can't qualify that well, or not that I can't, I'm just not qualifying that well. I know that I possess the ability to do it, just got to be better and actually qualify better. So I continue to work on that, continue to practice and race and hopefully get better. But for the moment, I'll just have to live with the circumstances that I get dropped into. So in this race, you'll see. But basically, I think that while I retain the ability to tweak the AI like this in career mode, I will do so because I think that if I can adjust the AI on every track to sort of match what my pace is looking like, then I think that overall it's going to be a better, more enjoyable race for me to drive and then also, to watch, I think. So you see Daniel in fifth there, Jeff in 12th. I'm roughly 1.1 seconds off of Daniel's pace, so I turned down the AI by 11 from 86 to 75. Which is obviously 75 is obviously a bit lower than I have been doing. So we'll see how it goes, basically. But I know that there's quite a bit of recovery in front of me because drivers that are in front of me absolutely are in slower cars than I am, and that was not a good start. I don't know what happened there. I think I was just maybe way too light on the throttle. And I just didn't get a good run at it, so that's unfortunate. But I do manage to keep it pretty clean, go wheel to wheel with Giovinazzi, and manage to survive it, which is good. But we were absolutely touching tires there for a second or so, so I was probably lucky to survive that actually. But Russell looked like he was having a go inside of me, or at the down the inside line there, but I fended it off, or he decided not to do it, or whatever. And going into the third lap here, we kept it pretty clean. I was just racing, trying to stay in my little patch here. I feel like at Baku, you sort of have to sit where you are and then take advantage of the DRS opportunities for passing, which is what I do in this race, and is what I did right there. Got past Giovinazzi pretty easily, had the DRS, used a little bit of ERS on him, and he was no match for me. I've got a better car than he does, so we were good there. I'm up to P13. You'll remember I started in 12th, I think, so we're already down a place after that bad start and had to make up a place over Giovinazzi. So I've absolutely got my work cut out for me for the rest of this race. Plus, I'm just not very good at Baku, which might explain why I didn't qualify well and why I needed to turn the AI down. But it absolutely could have gone better. So got my work cut out for me. But again, we're in a position here where I've got a better car than the Aston Martin in front of me and the AlphaTauri in front of him. So there's no reason that I shouldn't be able to catch these guys at some point very soon. And I'm well aware of that. And, the longer I stay behind these guys, the more it slows down my race and the more it stops me from being able to make up the places that I need to make up to really turn this into a successful day at the office. So I know that I have to get past these guys as quickly as possible. And I know that we're coming up on a position that is really one of the only places that I can do it here on this long straight and then the next DRS section. You see Giovinazzi having a go behind me. I left him the room on the right side there. He just didn't take it, and then he backs out there at the end of the straight. So I was surprised that I didn't get past there, but I will absolutely take it. Giovinazzi then goes down the inside again. I sort of close the door on him a little bit. Again, I bully the AI a little bit, as I've said before in these videos. I'm not afraid to admit that I bully the AI. I would treat a real human a little bit differently. You see me send it right there past Yuki. Little inside down the line dive bomb, which we love. Fast forward to lap 4 here. I've got Stroll in my sights. I've put a lot of space behind me to Yuki. That's one thing I've noticed. I think I've said this before, but when you pass an AI in career mode, they just get so much slower. Like, it's incredible how much they slow down. I don't really understand it. Maybe it's an ERS thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just an AI flaw, but you pass them and they're done. Like, they're not going to get back past you. Probably using ERS to defend, I guess. But I'm got Stroll in my sights again, as I said. I'm up to P7 after some guys have pitted. Remember that I started on the mediums going to softs, so I will have a longer first stint than a lot of other guys here. Hopefully allow me to make up some track position and then come out as far ahead as I can. You now see lap 7. It is Kimi Räikkönen and Jeff, the only 2 drivers up here at the front. You got Stroll and Alonso and Russell behind us all, who started on the mediums as well. But I get past Kimi there. Fast forward again to lap 9, where I'm pitting. I'm roughly 6.5 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton, but I put my brake limiter on way early, wasted a lot of time there. Ended up with a 2.7 second stop, though, which is good. I come out of the pits, and I'm immediately racing here with, looks like Gasly on my right. Kimi's back there as well, I think, actually. I've got Carlos Sainz in front of me, and the pit limiter thing really killed me, because I probably would have come out ahead of Sainz and maybe had more time to catch the guys further up if I'd done that better. But we're going into lap 12 here. Sainz is in front of me, and keep in mind the Ferraris are the main competitors here for us at McLaren. I send it again past Sainz. That was a dangerous move. I mean, these moves, if these guys decide to close the door or put themselves in harm's way, like, bro, we're both out of the race. So thank you, Carlos, for not killing me there. And now it's just in front of me. I've got Charles Leclerc and Danny Ricciardo, my teammate, and both of them are on hard tires, so I feel decent about my ability to catch these guys. But I will say, and I don't think I really noticed it up until this point, I had a lot more downforce than a lot of the other guys in this race, and I think that really came back to bite me a bit. Close the door against Kimi, trying to get past me there, but Ricardo, for example, there's no reason that I shouldn't be able to catch Ricardo here. He's on hard tires. I'm about to get DRS. I don't have a ton of ERS, but I am about to get DRS, and I'm using the ERS that I do have. But as we come out of this turn, you just see him gain time on me. And he's got DRS as well, but still, I think he was just running a much lower downforce setup. And then you see Kimi get past me there, and Carlos Sainz getting past me as well. So I think I was running way too much downforce here. And I probably would have been better served to run less downforce. You see me again send it with Kimi there into the first turn, and somehow the car is still responding to me. I'm still driving. Apparently I didn't get any damage from that. I guess it was all tires. I guess it was all tires that made contact with Kimi and all tires that made contact with the wall. So that was, I absolutely dodged the bullet there. I mean, I was full sending it during this race, and somehow managed to avoid damage on multiple occasions. And damage is on standard, so you would think that if they were going to give me damage, they would give it to me. You know what I mean? So I guess I was just fortunate there. And then ran into the back of Ricardo, which is incredibly annoying. I thought I was really good about this spacing throughout this race, you know, in terms of in front of and behind, not making contact with anybody. You know, the descends into the corners, the dive bombs are a little bit different. I obviously wasn't being that careful with those, but as far as running into the back of people, I felt like I was really careful. And that was the first time I did anything. So you see me frantically checking to see if there's damage, but I don't know that it makes much of a difference. I mean, it's not like I can pit. I'm just going to finish out the race as best I can and hope that it's fine. But I didn't feel any damage. I didn't feel any sort of disturbances with the wing or with aero or anything like that. So I guess it was fine. Or maybe this is why I was so much slower. I don't know. Also, my engine was like really bugging out in this race, and in the replays you could see a lot of smoke behind it. So maybe that's why I was slow. But you see Kimi Räikkönen, I might have aggressively cut him off a little bit there, tried to close the door a little bit, but managed to stay ahead of him by 0.008 seconds. So that is a huge save for us. 6 and 7 for McLaren. Split the Ferraris. A decent day for the team. Decent day for me. I was really happy with the way the AI felt in this race, so I'm going to keep trying this strategy and just trying to get as many points as I can and succeed.